Word that don't sound as ancient as legend. But you are right about Porter helping me a lot. First, he was nice enough to choose me to be on his TV show. When he spoke his voice. I had been with Porter for 7 years, and we'd had great success. We'd had a lot of problems. We didn't get along very well, but we loved each other also. It was like one of those love-hate kind of relationships.
In country music, few duos have captivated audiences like Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton. Known for their electrifying chemistry on stage and in the recording studio, they became an iconic pair, blending Porter's traditional country charm with Dolly's fresh, heartfelt songwriting. Together, they didn't just make music, they created a legacy with hits like I Will Always Love You and The Last Thing on My Mind, cementing their place in country music history. Porter, already a star with his glittering rhinestone suits and commanding stage presence, introduced a young Dolly to the world when she joined the Porter Wagoner Show in 1967. Audiences quickly fell in love with the duo's harmonies and dynamic performances, which were infused with a genuine connection that seemed unbreakable. Yet, as Dolly's talent and ambition began to shine brighter, cracks appeared in their partnership. Behind the scenes, the relationship between Porter and Dolly was complex. Dolly, eager to explore her own voice, found herself clashing with Porter's firm guidance. As her fame grew, so did her need for creative freedom, a need that was at odds with Porter's desire to maintain control over their musical direction. Rumors of discontent and creative differences soon swirled, hinting at a secret feud that would ultimately drive them apart. What really led Dolly to step away from Porter? Join us as we dive into the story of their legendary partnership, uncovering the dynamics, the drama, and the lasting impact of their journey together. Porter Wagoner was a household name long before Dolly Parton came into the picture. Born on August 12, 1927, in West Plains, Missouri, he was known for his charismatic stage presence and signature rhinestone suits, which gave him a standout look in the world of country music. Porter's charm and dedication to traditional country sounds made him a beloved figure, and by the 1960s, his career was soaring. In 1967, Porter's path took an unexpected turn when he met a young, ambitious singer named Dolly Parton. Born on January 19, 1946, in Sevierville, Tennessee, Dolly grew up in a small rural town, dreaming of a future in music. She moved to Nashville to pursue her career, and Porter quickly saw her talent and potential. Inviting her to perform on the Porter Wagoner Show was a career-changing decision for both of them. Together, they struck gold. Their onstage chemistry was undeniable, and they became an instant hit with fans across the country. Songs like The Last Thing on My Mind and Daddy Was an Old-Time Preacher Man showcased a perfect blend of Porter's traditional style with Dolly's fresh, narrative-driven songwriting. They weren't just partners, they were country music's new power duo. However, the partnership wasn't without complications. As Porter was guiding Dolly's early career, she began to feel the pull of her own artistic ambitions. She loved Porter's mentorship, but struggled with the limitations that came with his influence over their music. Dolly's innovative songwriting style and desire for independence began to clash with Porter's traditional approach, creating an undercurrent of tension in their otherwise successful collaboration. While their public appearances showed harmony, Dolly felt increasingly stifled creatively. Porter's desire to stay in control over their projects and his role as her mentor created an imbalance, as Dolly was ready to explore her own path. As her fame continued to grow, so did her longing for artistic freedom, a desire that would eventually put her at odds with the man who had first given her a platform. In the following chapters, we'll uncover how these growing ambitions and diverging creative visions began to shape a more complicated, ultimately turbulent partnership. As Dolly Parton's star began to rise, the dynamics of her relationship with Porter Wagoner became increasingly complex. What appeared to be an idyllic partnership on the Porter Wagoner Show masked an underlying tension, a clash of creative visions and ambitions that simmered behind closed doors. When Dolly joined Porter's show, she saw him as both a mentor and a friend. He was an established country music star, well-versed in the industry, and she respected his advice and the platform he provided. However, as Dolly's own talents blossomed, she started envisioning a career that extended beyond Porter's influence. While she deeply appreciated his mentorship, she was eager to establish herself as a unique artist with a voice and direction all her own. This need for creative expression gradually brought her into conflict with Porter's vision for their music. Porter, known for his iconic hits like Green Green Grass of Home and The Cold Hard Facts of Life, had spent years building a traditional country brand. He saw Dolly as an essential part of his show, and the chemistry they shared on stage was undeniable. Their harmonies were seamless, and they had a natural connection that captivated audiences. But behind the scenes, Porter often took the reins on decisions about their performances and song choices, which didn't always align with Dolly's evolving style and ambitions. Dolly later revealed that Porter's desire for control over their music made her feel limited creatively, saying, "I wanted to write my own songs and tell my own stories." This dynamic put a strain on their partnership. Dolly's desire to experiment with different sounds and themes was met with resistance from Porter, who feared such changes could dilute the traditional style they had perfected. As Dolly's solo work began gaining attention, the tug of war between her emerging identity and Porter's expectations grew more intense. Industry insiders began to notice Dolly's subtle shift in attitude, a weariness that occasionally replaced her usual exuberance. Over time, Dolly became increasingly determined to pursue her own artistic path. Despite the success of their duets, she felt that her potential was only partially realized while working under Porter's guidance. Yet, leaving the partnership felt impossible, given the bond they'd built and the success they had achieved together. As Dolly wrestled with this inner conflict, a quiet feud began to grow. A feud known only to a few insiders, but one that would ultimately redefine both her career and her relationship with Porter. This tension would soon reach a breaking point, forcing Dolly to make a decision that would change the course of her life and career. We'll explore how Dolly's growing ambition led to a dramatic turning point in this legendary partnership. As Dolly Parton's star continued to rise, the harmony that once defined her partnership with Porter Wagoner began to erode. What started as a collaborative relationship evolved into a tense standoff as conflicting ambitions and visions took center stage. This hidden struggle, simmering beneath the spotlight, soon escalated into a full-blown feud that neither of them could ignore. The friction became undeniable as Dolly's career and personal aspirations began to diverge from Porter's plans. Porter, who had spent years perfecting his stage persona and unique brand, had initially welcomed Dolly as a fresh face on the Porter Wagoner Show. Her natural talent and charisma breathed new life into the show, boosting its ratings and widening its appeal. Yet as time went on, Dolly's talents and aspirations began to outshine the role he had envisioned for her, leading to an uncomfortable shift in their dynamic. Porter, who had long taken the lead on creative and managerial decisions, struggled to relinquish control. His vision was rooted in tradition, and he worried that Dolly's inclination toward a more modern, mainstream style would compromise their brand. He felt responsible for her career success and believed his guidance was necessary for her to remain grounded in her roots. However, Dolly was already exploring themes and styles that stretched beyond the boundaries of their partnership. She wanted to create music that was deeply personal, branching out from their well-trodden path. But Porter's influence often stifled her freedom to experiment. Tensions flared publicly and privately. One particular incident revealed the extent of their discord. While recording new material for Dolly's solo album, Porter insisted on a traditional arrangement for a song he thought would appeal to their fan base. Dolly, who had written the song with a more contemporary sound in mind, resisted, arguing that it needed a fresh approach to resonate with her evolving style. The ensuing clash was intense, as Porter accused her of disregarding the principles that had brought them success. Dolly, on the other hand, felt trapped, likening the experience to being caged. The pressures of fame only deepened the divide. With each chart-topping single and magazine cover, Dolly's individuality became more visible, sparking industry rumors about her intentions. It was whispered that Dolly was poised to break away from Porter to pursue her solo career, a possibility that Porter vehemently opposed. He was wary of losing her star power, fearing that her departure would signify the end of their successful run. Some close friends even suggested that Porter felt betrayed, believing Dolly's ambitions were at odds with the loyalty he had shown her by championing her career from the start. The climax of their feud came in 1973, when Dolly decided to record "I Will Always Love You," a song she wrote as a goodbye to Porter. The lyrics expressed both gratitude and finality, signaling her desire to move forward while honoring the impact he'd had on her life. Porter's reaction was mixed. He reportedly appreciated the sentiment, but found the reality of her departure difficult to accept. The decision to part ways was far from easy for Dolly. It was an emotional struggle torn between loyalty to the mentor who had launched her career and the undeniable pull to realize her own potential. But the success of I Will Always Love You made it clear that her journey was just beginning. As we explore the fallout from Dolly's departure, we'll delve into Porter's response and the effect this split had on both their careers. What did this parting mean for each of them? And how did they navigate the challenges of moving forward on their own terms? The turning point in the partnership between Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton was not just a single event, but rather a culmination of their diverging ambitions and strained working dynamic. By the early 1970s, Dolly had become an undeniable force in country music, with a growing audience that adored her distinctive sound and relatable storytelling. Yet, the looming question remained. Could Dolly achieve the independence she craved without shattering the partnership that had been so vital to her success? In 1973, Dolly faced a decision that would define her career. She had been contemplating her departure from the Porter Wagoner Show for months, feeling the increasing need to expand creatively and pursue her own path. Her talents as a songwriter and performer had flourished under Porter's mentorship, but his influence was starting to feel more like a constraint. Though she deeply respected Porter, Dolly recognized that staying in the partnership would mean sacrificing the artistic freedom she yearned for. The tension between them reached a critical point during the recording of Dolly's song, I Will Always Love You. It was a song meant as a farewell, expressing gratitude for the journey they'd shared while acknowledging her need to move forward. Dolly poured her heart into the lyrics, singing about love, respect, and the bittersweet feeling of letting go. She wanted Porter to understand that while she was ready to leave, her gratitude for his guidance was unwavering. When Dolly played the song for Porter, his reaction was complex. He reportedly appreciated the gesture and understood the message, but the reality of her departure hit him hard. For Porter, Dolly's exit symbolized the end of an era, not just for his show, but for his career as well. He felt a deep sense of loss, compounded by the fact that Dolly's stardom had become closely intertwined with his own. This was not just a professional split, it was a personal one too, as the two had shared years of friendship, mutual respect, and creative success. The public reaction to Dolly's departure from the Porter Wagoner Show was one of shock and curiosity. Fans speculated about the reasons behind her decision, with some assuming that artistic differences were only part of the story. Porter's public statement suggested that he felt abandoned by Dolly's choice, while Dolly carefully conveyed that her decision was based on a need for personal growth rather than any ill will. This rift became a much-discussed topic in country music circles, with both artists forced to navigate the media attention while coming to terms with the separation. Dolly, though heartbroken to leave, felt liberated after making the decision. Her subsequent solo career took off, proving that her instincts about her artistic direction had been right. She released Jolene in 1974, and the single's success solidified her position as a powerful solo artist. Her newfound freedom allowed her to explore a range of themes and styles that would have been impossible under the restrictions of her previous collaboration with Porter. For Porter, Dolly's departure brought a period of reflection and adjustment. He continued with his music and television show, yet the void left by Dolly's absence was undeniable. In later interviews, he admitted that he had struggled to adapt to the loss of his star protege. However, Porter also expressed pride in Dolly's achievements, acknowledging that she had grown into an artist capable of leading country music in new directions. Their separation, while painful, ultimately allowed both Porter and Dolly to evolve independently. Dolly's rise to superstardom transformed her into a global icon, while Porter's legacy as a country pioneer remained intact. Despite the challenges of their split, their journey had laid the groundwork for their individual careers, cementing their status as icons whose contributions would resonate for decades to come. As we explore the impact of this turning point, we will look at the legacy they left behind and the lessons they learned through both collaboration and independence. How did this transformative moment shape their futures? And what did their careers reveal about the power of resilience and reinvention? In the years following Dolly Parton's departure from the Porter Wagoner Show, both she and Porter Wagoner carved out their individual paths. Dolly's solo career flourished, with hits like Jolene and I Will Always Love You. making her a household name far beyond the country music sphere. Meanwhile, Porter continued to produce music, though his public image was deeply impacted by Dolly's absence. For both, the split was bittersweet, and the emotional weight of their partnership lingered well beyond the professional realm. As time passed, the sting of separation gradually faded, replaced by a mutual respect and nostalgia for the success they had shared. Reflecting on their journey, Porter often spoke fondly of Dolly, publicly acknowledging her immense talent and the impact she had on his career. "She was a part of my life and my success," he said in one interview, reminiscing about their years of laughter and music making. Despite the initial hurt, Porter recognized that Dolly's departure was inevitable and ultimately necessary for her growth. Dolly, too, felt a blend of gratitude and sorrow when looking back on her years with Porter. While she had felt constrained toward the end of their partnership, Dolly understood the importance of Porter's role in her career. "I wouldn't be who I am today without him," she admitted, often crediting Porter with teaching her the ins and outs of the industry. Dolly would go on to speak of their relationship with affection, often describing Porter as a mentor who guided her through the critical early stages of her career. The healing process culminated in the late 1980s, when Dolly and Porter reunited for several public performances. These shared moments reminded fans of the undeniable magic they once brought to the stage and offered the two icons a chance to reconnect on friendly terms. As they stood side by side, singing the hits that had defined their partnership, the lingering tension seemed to dissolve, replaced by a genuine camaraderie. Their reconciliation was a testament to the resilience of their bond. For both Dolly and Porter, the reunion represented a shared acknowledgement of the past and an understanding of the journey they'd taken. Although their professional paths had diverged, their mutual respect endured, a testament to the depth of their connection. In the years before Porter's passing in 2007, Dolly continued to pay tribute to him, often speaking fondly of their time together and the pivotal role he played in her life. Their story, filled with both harmony and discord, became an enduring chapter in the annals of country music history, a narrative of ambition, talent, and the intricate ties that bind two artists on a shared path, even after they go their separate ways. The partnership between Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton remains one of the most remarkable in country music history, emblematic of both success and complexity. Together, they bridged traditional and modern country sounds, creating a unique blend that resonated across generations and paved the way for future artists. Hits like "The Last Thing on My Mind" and "Please Don't Stop Loving Me" still captivate listeners, reflecting the profound chemistry they shared. Yet, their legacy extends far beyond these memorable songs. Porter and Dolly's partnership introduced a new era in country music. Porter's polished, traditional style provided the perfect backdrop for Dolly's raw, emotional songwriting. With Porter, Dolly learned the power of television and the importance of presentation, giving her invaluable tools to navigate her career. As a mentor, Porter helped Dolly craft her public image, guiding her in a way that complemented her natural talents and set her on the path to stardom. The resulting blend of showmanship and sincerity became a hallmark of Dolly's own performances long after they parted ways. Their separation, although difficult, added another layer to their legacy, highlighting the challenges many artists face when balancing creative independence with loyalty to a partnership. Dolly's choice to go solo demonstrated courage and resilience, resonating deeply with fans and other musicians who felt stifled or limited in their own careers. The graceful way they handled their reconciliation years later showcased the importance of forgiveness and mutual respect in the often turbulent world of show business. For Porter, the end of their collaboration marked a transition, yet his influence on Dolly and the industry at large continued. Known for his support of other up-and-coming artists, Porter's contributions extended well beyond his time with Dolly, earning him recognition as a key figure in the development of country music's Nashville sound. His television show provided a platform for countless artists, many of whom went on to achieve significant success, contributing to Porter's reputation as a champion of new talent. Dolly, for her part, honored her roots in every stage of her solo career. She frequently spoke of Porter in interviews, crediting him as one of the most instrumental figures in her journey. Their songs and duets became timeless pieces, beloved by fans worldwide and covered by artists across genres. Today, their music continues to inspire, with hits like "I Will Always Love You" reaching iconic status, covered by artists such as Whitney Houston, further cementing Dolly's legacy as a versatile artist with wide-reaching influence. The legacy of Porter and Dolly is one of ambition, artistry, and the evolving dynamics of partnership. They showed the world that respect and admiration can persist even through discord, leaving behind a story as rich as the music they created. Their collaboration serves as a reminder of the power of unity and creativity, and the strength of two artists striving to leave their mark, both together and apart. The partnership between Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton is a timeless tale of creativity, ambition, and resilience. From the moment Dolly joined Porter's show, their chemistry was undeniable, creating a spark that brought forth some of country music's most cherished songs. Together, they merged Porter's traditional roots with Dolly's innovative style, setting a new standard in the genre and captivating audiences with each performance. Their musical legacy is matched only by the story behind it, a complex, layered relationship that balanced mentorship, friendship, and, eventually, a search for individual freedom. Dolly's journey with Porter taught her not only about the power of stage presence and showmanship, but also about the courage it takes to carve one's own path. Porter's guidance and early support were instrumental in her rise to stardom. Yet as her independence grew, so did the tension between them. Dolly's decision to go solo was a turning point, both in her life and in the landscape of country music. Her graceful transition, combined with Porter's acceptance of her success, added a profound depth to their story. Their reunion years later was not just a moment of nostalgia, but a testament to the lasting respect they held for one another. Both artists had matured, finding peace with the past and celebrating their shared legacy. Porter's public pride in Dolly's achievements and Dolly's ongoing tributes to Porter underscored the bond they would forever share, despite the challenges that once strained it. Today, Porter and Dolly's songs remain cultural landmarks, beloved by fans old and new. Hits like I Will Always Love You and Just Someone I Used to Know capture the emotional complexity of their journey, with each note echoing their deep connection and mutual respect. The story of Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton is a reminder that creativity thrives when artists support and challenge one another. Their journey, with its highs and lows, leaves behind lessons in forgiveness, resilience, and the pursuit of authentic self-expression. As we remember their music and the story behind it, we are reminded of the power of unity, the beauty of growth, and the enduring impact of genuine artistry.